I've been waiting for this day my whole life.
Alright, this is our last day of mowing together, Reg and me, so we thought we'd film some of our routines that we've become so fond of this summer. So here we are pulling in Ray's Chevron. Reg fills up over there while I check the oil on the Z's. Yep, the Z's have full oil, and Reg fills up the car.
How's the oil?
It's full on both.
Classic side here.
Yep, we usually get a donut and or sunflower seeds, and then we are ready to go. Crew 43 is the most efficient crew here at Brent's Lawn and Leisure, and we decided to share some of our efficiency tips with you today throughout the day that we've covered everything. Okay, tip number 1. Let one person do the footwork and the other person do the mowing. And when you mow, you should outline the biggest bay, usually there's one big bay, and then do all the rest. Because if the other person finishes the footwork first, then they can blow and everything's already been outlined, so you don't even have to worry about it. And then they can help the footwork person Z.
Yep, and with some experience you can find that like some churches like this one for instance, you don't have to outline because by the time you're working on the big bay is usually when they're blowing. So
there's a degree of getting used to it, but this basic tip can work for any church.
alright, today we're going to give you a lesson on edging. This is a diagram of Verlo, which is a pretty hard church to edge actually. It's kind of confusing. This right here is the church. These are all bays and the outlines are sidewalks. Since the edger can only edge on one side, which is the left side of the machine, the truck usually ends up parking here because of this shade.
Strategies involved when edging, so they don't have to backtrack.
Yeah, you want to be as efficient as possible. So some people would just start here, you know, take off, follow, but see you hit dead ends here, and you have this far stretching one way. So what we would do. There you go.
To save time also, here's another tip, you can eat between properties, like on your way to the next one. Like one little item of food between every property actually keeps the metabolism up really well. And we like to start off with a sweet sandwich, you know, half a sandwich in the morning, get your energy going. And our mom usually access, chips, string cheese, granola, bars, fruit, stuff to keep your energy up through the day. It always helps you, keep it up.
They see me mowing my front lawn.
There are some things that only mowers know how to say in sign language. So the following clips are about a couple things that we know exactly what each other's saying, but the roar of the mower is too loud for us to, be able to tell.
Since this is a summer job, it gets kind of hot sometimes. You get all sweaty and stuff. And the best way to fix this, we found, after you're done, what?
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, get your blower that you've been using. Turn it up a little bit.
Done? Sweet!
60 hours per day.
Crap, I just forgot. It's like 2002 or something. Yeah, what we do is another Ballard Brothers Crew 43 tip is we get the numbers on the last property. So we don't have to do it when we get to the store. Well, I guess we remember this Rigby Senior Seminary as the last property mowed with the Ballard Brothers of 2002. So, alright. Goodbye, Rigby, and for Redge, yeah. And let's head back to the shop. Alright, last call-in of the season. Screw 43. We just finished Rigby Senior Seminary. 2 o'clock to 2:35, and that makes it our very last property, last property ever. I just didn't think this would come as fast as. Oh yeah. Now, we're coming home. We're coming home. I'm making a freaking puddle monkey of myself. We're going home. We're coming home. It had to come someday, dude. Turn off.
Well, there we go. Starting the flipping construction zone that we always have.
But nevertheless, driving home is a great time of day. Every day.
It does feel very good every
Feels
single
great.
time.
You know that you did a good, hard, honest day's work. Listen to some great 03 podcasts, learn some trivia. So you learn stuff during the day.
Yep. Finished my 54th session of General Conference today on the last
Start
property.
From number 1.
Yeah. That's all the podcast had.
Well, the first General Conference podcast until the 54th.
basically.
Benjamin Franklin, kite flying.
Oh, that's almost like Tad and Troy. You can make fun of those guys like
long sleeves on a white room top.
the gentle crackle of a cigarette as it slowly wafts, as the air wafts the flame to life. The rabbits gently scurry away from the burning briar bush, as ashes and ember fill the lungs of the tender children. The soft cooing of Grandpa as he singes his leg hair and swears.
Softly. The glowing embers of a cigarette, the only beginning of a deadly forest fire. These are the memories that no one will ever forget. It's safe to say that these memories will never be forgotten.
These are the catastrophes that will live
can
on
only
in the
be
mind.
enjoyed in a Bish's RV. Tad's Super Center, whatever it's called. Bringing your summers to life. And
the red and orange sparks crackled as they gently flew up from the newborn inferno.
you can't say the word inferno.
Crowds
Softly.
arrive. Inferno. The pitiful but calming chirping of a nest of baby birds without mother.
That slowly melt into each other.
Now it's just showing how we always back in and have to watch that. Oh. Here we are, boys.
Here's another tip when you're unloading. Have someone with a strong back, in this case Redge, carry both blowers and both trimmers. You just flip it, stick it. Also, some tips are the gas can and the edger can go together, and while somebody's taking the Z off, the person can take the 21s. And of course the work order goes in the box, and see you later, bye. Alright, so my hands are quite dirty right now, if you notice. And of course you need water for that, so there's always drinking water. But I know exactly what you're thinking. Like, there's no way I can like pour water on this hand and then the other, because I'll have to hold on to this and it'll get all dirty. And we don't want a dirty water handle, it's last thing. So I came up with this way a couple years ago to wash your hands. That's exactly how you do it. And this is a work shirt anyway. Mom's washing it anyway, so look like you've been working pretty hard. Two birds with one stone.
Oh my god! My chocolate chip! Crap! Look, Mom, no hands! It's really hard to slap yourself in the face. I can totally imagine like Patrick doing that, you know, after a slap dance. He's like,